Watch this. And when I was given it by my brother, I found it almost invaluable in everyday life. And now you've got to think, okay, I'm nearly out of minutes, so I'm pretty much done. So you've got to now quickly go through this. You've answered this, and link them. And here you've got, not going to say my brother gave it to me. You're going to say, and I use it for this and I use it for that. And when I was given it by my brother, or when it was given to me by my brother, so now you've answered this question, yeah, and linked it to how you use it. When it was given to me by my brother, I quickly realized how valuable it is. And the last aspect, I can't remember what I said. Whatever the last aspect is, you've now got to link that one to that one and you're done. So let's say this, if it were lost or stolen, would it be difficult to replace? That's what I usually use. And when it was given to me by my brother, I had no idea how valuable it was about to become in my life, because, as I say, I use it for so many things. And you will already know that iPhones are updated nearly every year, and so as soon as you buy one, there's a new one coming out right behind it. So replacing it now linked. So replacing it wouldn't be difficult. But that doesn't mean to say it's not expensive. The applications may be more difficult, because I would have to put the same applications onto that phone to enjoy all the uses that I have for it. And now you're done. And here's where I say next technique up here. Throw a question back at them. Tell me, what model phone do you have? Yeah, whatever it might be, it's a question. Don't give a shit what the answer is. But you've used a conversational technique. Whenever we sit down like this, we always say, oh, the weather's great today. I wonder if it'll rain next week, as they say. And you might say, well, yeah, I was looking at the weather report and it did show that it was going to rain.
Did you agree with us?
But you're going to give me a question back, or a piece of information that I can respond to. And that's what you've got to put in here quietly, and as just a very, not sneaky, but just a technique. Huh? All right, but let me write what I want to talk to you about. This linking, all right? Now, you're going to link this one to this one and this one to this one and so on, all the way around.
Yes.
But here, we're going to give certain amounts of information. And in any sentence, you can give 2 or 3 or more pieces of information. Now, the structure of a sentence allows you to say 2 pieces of information. But many people, and even you, will often say, Liverpool played well, full stop. They won the game, full stop. And that's 2 sentences that we can put together with conjunctions. So here I want to talk about conjunctions. And well, let's just write that here, conjunctions. And don't underestimate the importance in conversation ability with conjunctions. And what are they? We know them to be and, but, and today I want to look at though,
the, or the,
although, and another one. And this is the first time I've gone on to 5. I usually leave it to those 4 when I do this.
just 4?
No, I'm going to give another one today. And it's slightly different, and that is however. However. So there's 5. Now, as I say, I usually teach just these 4 because the structure is what you need to practice, and now. So we know and. Let's write a sentence and reiterate. I don't have space enough. Liverpool, let's put Liverpool, played well.
Liverpool.
I have to write.
Okay.
Zoom that out.
Okay.
Look, get rid of that now. You've seen that.
Yeah, I got
Played
it.
well. Now that's positive.
Positive. But they lost the game.
Yeah. Well, now here's what you've got to realise. In English, everything is either positive or negative. All right. So let's talk about that just for a second, so you get this concept. Everything is positive or negative. This is my pen. Positive or negative?
Positive.
Yeah, but there's nothing positive. This is my good pen. That would be positive, yeah?
Uh-huh.
So remember that everything in English is either positive or negative, and if it is not obviously negative, it's by default positive. The tree is brown. Well, it's not positive or negative, but it's positive by default, because it's not the old tree is
Uh-huh.
brown. So old being a negative. So there's no negative in that small statement. So right, we have to understand first of all that Liverpool played well is a positive statement. And now we want to say that they won the game. So we're going to use and won.
Won the game.
And won the game. All right, now there's another important issue that you've got to keep on board here, but it's not that important. We've got these Liverpool played well, and we're going to use, because this is positive as well, and won the game, we're going to use and. Now, what you have to remember in grammar, first of all, is you have this situation where a sentence, if it could be a sentence on its own, is an independent clause. It's grammar and it's bullshit, but you have to remember this. If a sentence could not be written as a sentence, would make no sense on its own, then it's a subordinate, the opposite. It's a subordinate clause or a non-independent clause. And the importance of that is just in the way you would need to write it. So here we have Liverpool played well. Well, it's got the subject and a noun, and it makes sense. If you just had Liverpool played well, that is a independent clause, all right? So we're going to add this, won the game. That is a subordinate clause. If you just saw that on its own, you think, well, what the fuck are you talking about? Won the game? What game?
Won
What are
the
you
game.
Yeah, you see. So you're going to say that's a subordinate clause.
Subordinate clause.
The only reason for you need to know that is that if that were an independent clause, you would need a comma here, but you don't. It's a very small point. In speaking, you don't need to use it, don't need to even go there. But let's look at the, so this is up and up. And we joined it with and here. So now we've got the same sentence, but here they're going to lose the game.
Lose.
So we're going to have to use but, lost the game. All right, so now you've got the use of but. And because this is now negative and positive, you're going to have to separate the two. And you don't have to worry about independent or subordinate. Here you've got a positive and a negative, and this time you must use a comma. Again, in speaking you don't use it, but it doesn't matter. All right. Now, you understand that concept. I think we've even gone over this before, and it's an easy one to get. So you've got these two facts: Liverpool played, and the result of the game. So right now, this is the most basic that we can use. So this one is good, this one is good, we understand. But now we want to use though.
Though.
Yeah. Now basically, both of these can use the same is used in the same way as but. But you can use them at the beginning of the sentence as well. And let me just write it out here. Though
Liverpool play well.
Played well. We're going to use a pronoun here. They lost. Now they lost. They lost. They lost is not it is a subordinate clause, because if you just say they lost,
They lost.
that's not a sentence on its own. So it is subordinate. It needs Liverpool played well to make sense. So whatever the word we're going to use here, we're going to have to separate these two clauses with a comma. But now we've got a conjunction. We're not using it as you nominally would use a conjunction here. Now it's a bit more sophisticated, and this is where you've got to go. Now we're going to use the conjunction, though, at the beginning. But we could use it in the middle. We could say Liverpool played well, though they lost the game. That would be okay. Use it exactly the same as a but. But this one has more versatility. It's more flexible how you use it. You can use it at the beginning. Mengan, although, and although is the one you should be using. All right. So instead of though, you're going to use although, and it has exactly the same effect, but you must use it at the beginning. Although you washed your car yesterday, it still rained.
It's still.
Although you washed your car, positive by default, it still rained. Negative by context.
By context.
Yeah, negative by context. So we're going to have to use a positive negative conjunction, and it's not and. You couldn't say you washed your car yesterday and it rained. Well, you could, and it's grammatically correct, but everybody's going to look at you and think, are you like that? You know, you like washing your car, so you want to do it again today? What the fuck are you talking? Are you crazy? What are you crazy about? So here we're going to use though or although. Liverpool play well, although they lost the game. No, that doesn't ring true either. So what I'm saying to you here is that though is more versatile. Though can be at the front of the sentence, begin the sentence with it. Remember, the comma must go to separate the two clauses, but again, in speaking, you don't need to know that.
Yeah.
But although is one that you pretty much always need to use at the beginning.
Yeah.
Now, this is, I don't go here with this lesson normally. However is a conjunction. It can be used as a conjunction, but it introduces a different, often negative fact or piece of information, but it doesn't have to. The army won the battle, however there were heavy losses. Well, there were heavy losses is definitely negative, but they won the battle. So we're going to use however to link the two pieces together, but to show that it was good and it was bad. There was a bad side to it. So basically you can use however in the same way as though or although, but you can't use it at the beginning. You can't say, however they won the battle, they had heavy losses. That would just not make sense. So let's use Liverpool again. Liverpool played well. Now I'm going to use this because it's the same as but. However, however,
they lost.
They lost. And the game. Right, we have to give it some credibility. However, they lost the game. All right, so it's pretty simple. And you will understand this is not a difficult concept. But knowing when to use however, although, and though is where I want to go with you. Now, what I need you to do is think of maybe yesterday, 2 things that happened that you can describe to me in your own words, not fucking Liverpool, not the battle, not anything I've said now, the tree or anything like that. 2 things that happened, and I need you to do it 3 times to reinforce your understanding of the concept, but so that you would then have used it successfully and therefore be able to use it again. Now what I'd like you to do is write a sentence, 1 of the 3, and tell me 2 more. Take your time, because it's crucial that it's very important that you understand and begin to use this structure. So you can pretty much forget about the independent and subordinate clause rules, because in writing you need to know that. And if you write something and I edit it, I will naturally just arrive at the omission, arrive at the place where you missed the comma and put it in. What we need to focus on is not writing just now, that's a separate issue, speaking.